are you talking about? Of course I'm going to look at the Bible for Christian doctrine. But see, that's a major issue, and it's a question to be raised. Did God give us the Bible fundamentally to be the repository of Christian doctrine? Do you go to the Bible primarily to figure out what the Christian faith teaches and what our obligations are as Christians? And for many people who listen to the show maybe for the first time, they will go, well, yeah, of course, that just goes without saying. That's what I've always used the Bible for. Isn't that what everybody uses the Bible for? Actually, no. Actually, no. And the Catholic position is very different. The Bible's an authority. It's a tremendous authority. It's inspired, it's inerrant, it's divine, but it doesn't function that way. And I'd like you to perform a thought experiment, okay? And that is, if I handed you the Betty Crocker cookbook. My mother still has a Betty Crocker cookbook.
Does she?
Yes, she does.
All right.
I handed you, for people below a certain age will probably never even heard of a Betty Crocker cookbook, but if I handed you the Betty Crocker cookbook, world's greatest source for things on, like, you know, how to cook roast beef and make lemon meringue pies, that sort of thing, you know. And I said, okay, here's the Betty Crocker cookbook. Go figure out how to program AI, you know, in Fortran by using your Betty Crocker cookbook. You'll be like, well, Anders, Betty Crocker cookbook may be perfect for making the Sunday lunch, you know, for the Cleaver family in the 1950s. It's absolutely flawless. But it's not. That's not what it's designed for. It's not there to teach me how to program, you know, AI in Fortran or whatever. You know, it's a category mistake, Anders. And I'm saying, okay, that's but it's not. That's no slight on Betty Crocker. She's great at what she does. That's the kind of mistake that's being made when someone picks up the Bible and says, the purpose of this text is to tell me everything I need to know about Christian doctrine and Christian life. And again, continue with my thought experiment. Pick up every individual book of the Bible, one at a time. Let it stand by itself. Read it and ask yourself, does this text present itself as if the intent of the writer was to give me a comprehensive account of Christian life and Christian faith? And if you do that, I guarantee you'll find the answer can't possibly be yes, right? I mean, you pick up the book of Genesis, well, you know, it's narratives about Israel's ancient history. You pick up the book of Psalms, well, it's hymns on all kinds of occasions expressing all kinds of sentiments, sometimes in opposition to one another. God is great, God is absent. Like, they say the same thing, right? Pick up the book of Ecclesiastes. Well, there's no God, there's no meaning, everything stinks. I think I'll eat, drink, and be merry because tomorrow I die. All right, that's in there, okay? You know, I pick up some obscure chapter of Isaiah where he is proclaiming the downfall of Edom. All right, doesn't seem to tell me, like, whether I should have the women's Bible study on Wednesday night or not, you know? And so on and so on and so on. They all function this way, right? And when you put them all together, the collection doesn't suddenly acquire some attribute that the individual parts lacked, namely this character of being a comprehensive account of Christian life. And the way the church has always received the Holy Scriptures is that they are inspired, they are divine, they are given for our edification, and they're mostly effective as models in our prayer life and the language that we use about God, and in their moral exhortations to guide us in the way of holiness. But by themselves, they're utterly inadequate as a rule of faith to define the contours of Christian faith and Christian life. For that job, Christ actually gave us something different. He gave us the teaching church. And in the Gospels, he says to St. Peter and the other apostles, go into all nations, make disciples, teach everything I've commanded you. I'll be with you to the end of the age, and whatever you bind on earth is bound in heaven. He gives them a very specific authority with a divine mandate. And we see that worked out in real time in the book of Acts, when there were doctrinal controversies in the faith about whether we do this or whether we do that, and the apostles did not go to the Bible to answer those questions. They met in a council. The apostles and the elders of the church met in a council, deliberated, and then credited their conclusion to the Holy Spirit, saying, it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you the following.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
That's the model of church government that the Scriptures themselves present. The Scriptures point beyond themselves to something else that serves as the rule of faith for Christian life. That's not to diminish the authority of the Scriptures, it's to specify the nature of the Scripture's authority.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. It is called a communion